deceit, fraud, and an international scam worth $15 billion.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Stepping on stage to a packed-out crowd in 2016, a then 36-year-old crypto founder was welcomed with cheers and applause from endearing fans. The song, "This Woman Is on Fire," echoed through the Wembley Arena. While the lady who stood on stage was a superstar of sorts, she wasn't a pop singer. It was none other than Dr. Ruja Ignatova, the founder of OneCoin and one of the leaders of the global cryptocurrency movement. Though unbeknown to the cheering masses, just a year later she would be on the missing persons list. Dr. Ruja was a commanding figure. She was extremely intelligent and knowledgeable and was said to make high-level bankers look like fools. Her arguments were centered around many of the same ideologies that the wider crypto movement was based on. The idea that traditional banks and governments had too much power when it came to currency and that it was time for a revolution to democratize money. That is, give the power back to the people. On the back of the 2008 global financial crisis, a lot of people were willing to listen. And rightly so. On these points, she was actually right. The OneCoin founder went on to blame the greed of the big banks for the financial crisis and ultimately proclaimed that the current system was old and outdated and that cryptocurrencies as a whole, and in particular OneCoin, would be the future. But it went deeper than that. As Dr. Ruja spoke to thousands of investors at Wembley Stadium, she spoke about joining not just a good investment and not just a revolutionary global financial movement, but a family.
We will be the biggest out there and we will write history. And the cryptocurrency community will have to rewrite philosophy. Nobody can compare to us. We have today the most users. We are the biggest crypto reserve currency out there. And to everybody who tells me that I violate the philosophy of cryptocurrency, guys, we are a bigger community. We decide what the philosophy of cryptocurrency is. In 2 years, nobody will speak about Bitcoin anymore.
Investors became part of a network called OneLife. They would join WhatsApp groups with insider information, often being told to ignore the outside haters. They even had their own hand symbol, which people would use when meeting other members of OneLife. But despite all of this, Dr. Ruja had the credentials to match her statements. She studied at Oxford, had a PhD, previously worked at McKinsey, which is a very exclusive global consulting group. OneCoin grew fast. Within 3 years of launching, there were over 3 million investors from around the world. Conferences and seminars popped up everywhere, from the United States, China, and the UK, all the way to African nations. Each event would at least show a video of Dr. Ruja when she was too busy to leave her home country of Bulgaria. Things were going great for OneCoin until late 2017. Though earlier in the year, some cracks were beginning to show. In April of 2017, Indian police arrested 18 people in Mumbai for trying to organize a OneCoin recruiting event. Though during the sting, $11 million was transferred out of bank accounts before the police could get to it. In all of this, what was Dr. Ruja going to do? Dr. Ruja was scheduled to speak at a OneCoin seminar in Lisbon, Portugal in October 2017. However, she didn't make it to the seminar. This was unusual, as her colleagues noted that she was extremely punctual. She would often refuse to attend meetings if the other parties were just a single minute late. Her colleagues called her. No answer. No messages either. No one knew where she was. Being the head of a movement as valuable as OneCoin comes with its targets. The crypto founder was well aware of this and walked around with 2 bodyguards. Fears for her life spread, with rumors saying that she was kidnapped by some big banks, or more optimistically, that she went into hiding from them. But the thing is, nobody has seen Dr. Ruja since that day. After her disappearance, Dr. Ruja's younger brother, Konstantin, had taken her place at the top of the OneCoin empire. He was previously her bodyguard and personal assistant. a tattooed muscular figure who was, by the previous account of other employees, a bit dim. In March of 2019, Konstantin was about to board a flight from Los Angeles to Bulgaria. The FBI arrested him and charged him with money laundering and fraud. The same day, US authorities proclaimed OneCoin to be a fraud. The FBI had secretly charged the now missing Dr. Ruja over 2 years ago, around the same time she went missing. This raised some questions. Had she been tipped off? There'll be more on this later in the episode. So what was OneCoin in the first place? Essentially, it was multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing typically uses people to recruit others who purchase starter packages. You make a commission for every person that you bring into the business. This includes a cut of that person's future sales, including everybody that they bring into the business. The problem with multi-level marketing is that it rarely, if ever, actually creates any value in the form of a product or a service. Fundamentally, people make money off recruiting others. Hence, a few people at the top make all the money, while the rest lose everything. OneCoin is sold in the form of educational packages, which contain tokens, which allow you to mine OneCoins. However, there really isn't any mining going on. The blockchain, a fundamental structure of cryptocurrency, doesn't even exist in OneCoin. And the exchange, which allows real money to be traded for OneCoin, has been under construction for years and marred with constant delays. Though the company will tell you that they sell educational packages, helping teach people about financial freedom. Each of these educational packages could cost anywhere from $100 to $100,000. This is how OneCoin made their money. A lot of the educational materials in these packages were later found to be plagiarized from other sources. The buyers of these packages are told that the money that they used to buy them would be converted into OneCoin, which is guaranteed to go up in value. Of course, this turned out to be false. Perhaps by hiding behind technicalities and loopholes, they've been able to grow so rapidly and fall under the legislative radar.
When you have a digital product that you cannot touch, like an education package, of course people are more skeptical. So I respect everybody who has questions or who criticize or just wants to talk to us, but what I do not like is when people do not do their homework and do not check what is going on.
OneCoin recruited the best and most experienced multi-level marketing sellers to start the chain, and the scheme was far-reaching. Even as far as Uganda, seminars sprouted all over the world and brought ever more people into the get-rich scheme. Sadly, some sold their houses or their farm animals to buy in.
Just exactly how much did you lose, and what effect has it had on your life?
I personally lost €10,000 and friends collectively our loss has been €250,000. It has been absolutely devastating.
For the unsuspecting person, it's not hard to see how they could be fooled. She wowed the crowds with her inspirational speeches, her credentials constantly upholding her. However, not all was as it seems. One of the first Google image search results that you get from Dr. Ruja appears to be her on the front cover of Forbes magazine. Here, she looks the part of a pioneering genius, but in reality, this wasn't the front cover of Forbes, far from it. It was a paid advertisement in Forbes Bulgaria magazine. The advert appeared halfway through the magazine next to another advert selling watches. Of course, it was just a method to trick people into thinking Forbes had done a front page interview with her. While it remains that Dr. Ruja has a PhD,